Hello. Well, I am literally baking cookies in the oven, not cookies on my machine, but real ones. Because I wanted proper chocolate. It's Willie's cacao. I love that chocolate. And what else has it got? Hazelnuts and almonds and freshly grated orange peel and lemon peel. It's going to be good. All organic, of course. Otherwise, why eat a cookie? Oh, but this is about something completely different, but not. Our education system is about separation. You get up early in the morning, you get into a uniform you would never choose. You wear that for the whole week, every day. You get in the car or however transporting to your destination and you stay there until you come home and you do the same thing. You know that. The children are moved away from the home. The parents, the adults, they go off somewhere else, separation. The children are in their little groups in a classroom, contained. Age separation, this age with this age. If you have a good school, though, you can play with all kinds of ages, and that fostering and care between the levels is encouraged. And there are lots of schools like that. I happen to know one, which I love, like that. However, can you see separation, separation, separation? It's based on separation. Now let's look at the timetable. Oh, maths, English, science, history, geography. Separation. Now, the inside out learning structure, resonance learning, inspirative, directed from your spirit learning that I keep on talking about, is all about integration. So mathematics, I have the joke, you can teach A-level, English A-level maths by designing and building a treehouse. That includes matrices, it includes high-level ratios, it includes high-level trigonometry, it includes, oh, what was the other stuff? I can't think now. Every part of that curriculum you can teach by designing and building a treehouse. Why don't we do it like that? Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, there are a few people who like to just learn, kind of remember something, compute. They're the more computer-based minds, and there are some of those beings, and they're the ones, of course, that get the A stars generally. The ones who have the ability to take and crunch data and replicate it and reproduce it. I'm talking about, however, the inspirational wise ones, the ones that take this and put it together to create something entirely new. I'm going to do a series of talks about this because it's so complex, but this is just kind of the starting point. Let's take cookery. On my website, inspiration.biz, you can go and find the play packages. And that's under the Speaking House section, the new education, okay? And I have a food package. It's called the foodie package. Now, when you cook cookies, there are so many subject overlaps you can indulge in. So I, of course, now at my age, cook cookies, bake cookies with no recipe. I basically know the consistency I need. I know the ratios I need between different things. I can substitute different fats because I understand, hello, the chemistry. So what have I talked about? I've just talked about memory retention. That's useful. I've talked about ratios. Oh, that's mathematics. Now, you could just say, yes, I'm going to weigh out the ingredients. That's also mathematics, measurements. Imagine if you decided to weigh in very different computations. Say if you're used to pounds and ounces and you're going to decide to weigh in grams and kilograms. That's already quite interesting. If you then look at ratio between ingredients, that's an interesting computation. That's a mathematical equation. Then, oh, what could we do? We could look at the cultural history of the cookie. Ingredients, each one, cookies from many, many nations, but mostly cookies are an American cultural phenomena, aren't they? We have biscuits in England. And there are biscuits in many parts of the world because of the British spreading their biscuitry. Biscuits, of course, very different in the States. Those are like our scones, sort of, but they taste different. But there is a really rich anthropology embedded in the cookie. You could take a cultural journey, look at possible ingredients, origins, sources, historical evidence, story linkage, take it into literature, examine food in literature. It's an exercise in literary exploration. Okay, right, that's great. Now let's look at the ingredients. Ooh, geography. One of the subjects currently taught in geography at whatever level is agriculture. Why don't we look at the processes involved in the ingredients? Now, that's not just geography, that's science. Suddenly, we've got biology, chemistry. Physics was in the kind of ratio. Oh, physics. Yes, physics in what happens with the chemical compounds and the ratios. Now, that's interesting. But let's just go to biology and geography, farming. So the chocolate I used, Willie's Cacao, it's the nicest chocolate I can find. It has no sugar in it. It is sourced from a specific plantation where he gets his cacao from, the cocoa mass. And he has, I think, 6 different places with particular different cocos that this guy, Willie, is his first name, and his company is called Willie's Cacao. I'm plugging it. I don't get any money for it, but I do like his chocolate. He has found this ingredient. It's not organic in terms of certification, but it's produced to a very high standard of goodness. So you could do an analysis of that cocoa, the density, the texture, the origin, how it is created, how it is farmed, how it is harvested, how it is shipped across the world. What is the relationship of the salary for the producer and grower to the importer, distributor, actually manufacturer, Willie in this case. And then you could do that with all of the ingredients. So I've got organic almonds. They are French from an organic source in the UK that collects from different places and distributes. I have organic butter from a farm I know well through my favorite food company, Riverford. What else did I have? Eggs from my local farm. Not officially organic, because that's too much of a palaver, but they live in a very beautiful way. I've chatted to the farmers, beautiful couple, wonderful eggshells, that's how you know, good yolks. Then sugar, okay, yes, organic sugar. I've got sugar in there too. And there is a story and an origin and a process. Oh my goodness, look, this is just the cookie, right? I've got the oranges and the lemons in there. What else do I have? Bit of cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon, very interesting spice. Okay, a lot of influence, a lot of research. So you could be cooking and you could learn, teach, explore, discover so much. And you would have covered your entire syllabus by making cookies. Now, if someone comes and says, that's the project of today, you might be a little resistant about it. If you, however, want to bake cookies, and then you have support and interest and fascination to unfold, to expand, to open up the subject of the cookie, you suddenly have an entire world at your fingertips of learning with enthusiasm and passion. And then, of course, you could try things like cooking a shorter time, a longer time. You can try different menu variations. You get to try them, to taste them, to share them. You can make an event out of the cookie. Now, this is very playful, but the reason behind me getting here in front of the camera with my hair all fluffy is to explain that the inside out approach to learning is entirely different. It's so, can you feel how natural it is? It's like we've been living in a little box and now we can go into an expanded reality just by the everyday joys, a little tiny sweet joy of a cookie. And you can expand the separation I spoke about at the beginning, parents going off there, children off there, in a classroom, separated, subject separated. No, suddenly it's an integration, it's a family, it's a party, it's a celebration. The adults need to be there to help support gathering the information. The children are allowed and enabled, whoever it is doing the cookie experimentation, hopefully a group, because it'll be more fun that way, And it becomes a social event, the learning. It's so very, very different. There was one wonderful conclusion I found when I was doing all the research for my PhD, and I had many conclusions because I was testing lots of hypotheses, but this was a pair of psychologists. I can't remember their name, but I can put it in the description because it's in my bibliography. A husband and wife couple. And they said this simple thing: children learn the best with the most longevity when they are learning with an adult that they enjoy and trust. Dong. If you have an adult helping with the enjoyment side and the trust, and you are discovering something, you're never actually going to forget that experience. So you could then be the teacher of the cookies to other children. So I'm going to look at things like how sport would change with the speaking house. We are run by reptilian, dare I say it, evolutionary principles. And sport is one of those biggest expressions. So I'm going to be looking at that. The whole side of physical education. Remember, I'm a dancer. I teach dance as one of my subjects. And the way that is done could be entirely transformed. And there are so many things, whether it's a detailed look into mathematics or biology or geography or whatever. And I will go and look piece by piece through all these subjects. I think I'll have to make a separate playlist so you can go and grab them. The curriculum reimagined, because there is no separation in this kind of learning, the resonance learning from the spirit within led the speaking house. It's all about integration and layers and networks and systems, ecosystems. That's how everything in nature is developed and grown. And I shall leave you on that note and go and pull my cookies out of the oven.